Hello, Mom. I need to talk to you about something important. Are you available now?
Is everything all right? You got me worried. I can chat at the moment. I don't have much going on. And of course, I'm always here for you.
It's actually not something to be so concerned about. It's not that important. So, I recently got married.
What? Married?
Yes, I got married. That's all I wanted to tell you. See, there's no need to worry. We'll chat again soon.
Hold on a minute. You can't just drop the news that you got married. And act like it's not one of the most significant things in your life. And you texted me about it? What were you thinking? This deserves more than a text.
Mom, it's just a legal formality and nothing more. It's really not something to make such a big fuss about.
Just a legal formality? Are you kidding me? Wait. Did you say you got married? You got married, not you're getting married?
Yes, Mom, I said I got married. My girlfriend and I went to City Hall and got married just last week.
Did you even think this through? Are you out of your mind? What were you even thinking? You should have at least informed us that you were getting married.
Well, yes, I know you would say that, but she really didn't want to meet you guys. So I had no choice but to go through with it without telling you.
What?
Well, our family has a long line of ministers. And you're the minister's wife and all. So she thought there would be certain expectations and procedures to follow. She's not religious at all and was hesitant about meeting you guys. She didn't want to be told what to do, like having the wedding at our church. So, to avoid all of that, she wanted us to get married first before telling you.
Why would you both assume that? I would never tell you what to do or where to get married, etc. And you? Why are you just going along with what she wants? It's not like you. You know us. You could have told her that we're not like that. And that we would never force you to do anything you wouldn't want to do.
Okay. Calm down, Mom. There's no need to get so defensive. What's the problem here? We simply got married.
It's a big deal.
If you really have no intention of dictating how we should do things, then it shouldn't be a problem. It doesn't matter whether we get married first and then tell you or vice versa. I can't believe you're getting so angry about this. I don't see the issue at all. I mean, I guess she was right. You guys are old-fashioned and very religious.
You're being unreasonable here.
Anyway, that's all I needed to tell you, so I have to go now. She's my wife now, so maybe I'll connect you both through a chat message. Or something so you have her contact info.
Hold on a minute. A chat message? Come on. Sending me the news that you got married via text is just beyond rude. And an introduction through text? The least you can do is come home and talk to us. Even if she doesn't want to, you should at least come.
Are you kidding me? I'm not going all the way to Texas just to tell you that I got married. Why should I?
Because we're your parents. And we deserve to be told and have a discussion face to face. You've already gotten married, so we can't do anything about that anymore. But you should at least come and tell us yourself instead of just sending a message. And until you do, we won't acknowledge anything.
Who would travel all the way there just to announce that they got married? You know how long it would take. When I left that small town, I told you I would never return. and I would never set foot in that closed-minded town again. That's why I married a New Yorker. I was born and raised in New York. This is my home now, and it has been for a while. I live in the city. So, I'm telling you again, neither she nor I will ever go back there.
Now look who's being unreasonable.
You probably think that because I'm the oldest child, I would eventually come back and take over the church or something crazy like that. But think again, Mom, because that will never, ever happen. I have no intention of becoming a minister. Who would want to leave New York and go back to a small town with a falling apart church in the middle of nowhere?
We've never thought or even asked you to take over. Ever.
Alright then, that settles it. I won't be coming back, and I will never go back. So, maybe ask Meredith and her future husband if they want to take over. Well, I guess that's if someone like her, a small town girl, ever finds a man. And if that man is crazy enough to marry her.
Hello! I hope I'm texting Glenn's mom, Brenda?
Yes. Who is this?
This is Alicia, your son's wife, or your new daughter-in-law. I'm looking forward to getting to know you.
So you're Glenn's wife. Okay. He did mention you. But I currently have no interest in chatting or getting acquainted with you. We haven't even met before. I'm not sure what else I can say to you right now.
Wow, you really have quite the personality. Glenn told me about how conservative you guys are. But I never expected to have such a difficult mother-in-law.
Excuse me?
Let me be clear. I have no intention of meeting you unless it becomes necessary. And don't assume that being Glenn's wife and his mother will automatically earn you respect. That would be a big mistake.
Is that how you want to speak to your in-laws? You need a reality check. It's disrespectful to have no intention of meeting your new family. Talk about disrespect.
Disrespectful? Really? Everyone has their own way, right? I have my way, you have yours. There's nothing wrong with that. Considering someone disrespectful is subjective, based on your perspective and assumptions. I don't see it that way.
How do you plan on having a wedding without meeting us beforehand? Your parents probably want to meet the man their daughter married as well.
Wait, didn't Glenn tell you? We had our wedding recently.
What?
Yes, but we only invited friends. It was amazing. The ceremony was beautiful, and the party was a lot of fun.
I can't believe you had a wedding without even discussing it with us.
Well, if we had discussed it with you, we would have had to invite you. I'm sure you would have had a million things for us to do before we got married. That's why we decided not to tell you and went ahead with the ceremony.
This is unbelievable. I've never heard of anyone getting married or having a wedding without even inviting their parents or informing them.
My parents told me to do whatever I wanted. I think that's the difference between people from the city and small town folks. My parents are very progressive. They told me I'm an adult and can do as I please.
That's your family, and it's perfectly fine and great. But our family does things differently. We wouldn't have interfered with your wedding plans, but we would have appreciated being informed. Look at it from our perspective. Our only son got married without us even knowing.
That's your problem. You have this small town mentality, you're narrow-minded and conservative. That's why your son doesn't want much to do with you. Glenn always tells me he can't deal with you guys or that town. He says he hates that small town mentality and old-fashioned thinking.
It has nothing to do with being from a small town or being old-fashioned. It's about doing the right thing. I would still like to meet you in person. You can trust that I won't say anything about the wedding or marriage. I just want to meet the woman my son married.
That's not necessary. I don't have the time or energy for small town folks. I have better things to do.
You've got some nerve.
Why should I waste my time with my narrow-minded mother-in-law? You'll probably try to brainwash me into your religion and your ways. And I can't have that. That kind of energy doesn't appeal to me.
Well, your husband was born and raised by that narrow-minded, old-fashioned, small-town mother-in-law.
Oh, yeah, but Glenn is completely different. He was born and raised there, but then he escaped. He always prioritizes me. He's also incredibly handsome and intelligent. And he possesses none of those small-town traits. So if you could respect our space and boundaries and keep your distance, that would be great. We're a modern and progressive couple, and we want to maintain that. Having you in our lives makes it really difficult. Don't even try to change our minds with your nonsense.
I guess there's no reasoning with you. Okay, understood. We'll make sure to keep our distance from both of you. But remember, this is what you two wanted.
Finally, I got through to you. I'll send you my Venmo information shortly. You can send our wedding gift there.
Are you serious?
Is there a problem? Your son just got married. I would expect it's the least you can do. Even people in small towns give wedding gifts, right? It's a common practice.
Well, I just told you that we won't be meeting you. We'll maintain our distance, so we expect the same respect from you, right?
Yes, of course, but that's not relevant to this discussion.
What do you mean it's not relevant? You want us to keep our distance, yet you still expect a wedding gift from us? Let me clarify. You don't want to meet us, you got married without informing or inviting us. But you still want us to send you a wedding gift. Have you lost your mind?
But you're Glenn's parents, aren't you? I understand you may have concerns and feel annoyed. But seriously, it's your only son's wedding. Why wouldn't you want to give him a gift?
This conversation is unbelievable.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, we'll be moving into our new house soon. It would be appreciated if you could contribute to the costs. Since he's your only son, I assume you'd want to give a generous amount, like a minimum of 10K or so. Plus, we could use some assistance with the new home and moving expenses. So maybe around 20-25K, right?
20-25K? It's outrageous to ask your mother-in-law, whom you've never met, or rather, don't want to meet, for that kind of money. You must be out of your mind.
I don't understand why you think I'm being unreasonable. Glenn always tells me that people in rural areas like yourselves are concerned about appearances. He said you would definitely send us a cash gift, so you can boast to your friends about the amount you gave.
Are you kidding me?
Well, we'll see, won't we?
There's no way we would send 10K as a wedding gift, not even us country folk. And why would you need an additional 10-15K for the move? That seems excessively expensive to us small-town country folk.
How would you know?
In our area, rent is about $1,500. Even with first and last month's rent and moving costs, it shouldn't exceed, say, $5,000. So you see, we'll send what we deem appropriate, being the country folk we are.
You must be joking. That won't cover much at all.
Also, being from a small town, we aren't familiar with online banking. We'll bring the money in person. Please provide us with your address.
Not a chance.
After that, you'll never have to see or talk to us again. Just allow us to deliver the money, exchange greetings, and we'll be on our way. If you agree to that, despite it being completely unreasonable, we'll give a wedding gift and assist with the move.
Over my dead body. I've already made it clear that I will never meet you. And do you think I'm foolish enough to give you our address? Come on.
Fine, we'll leave you alone. Nevertheless, we're family now, and I'll respect your wishes. I might consider sending a Christmas card. And in case of emergencies, it would be useful to have our son's address.
Oh my God. Who sends Christmas cards by mail these days? It's 2023. Send a text or an e-card. I suppose you're too old to understand what I'm talking about. Sharing home addresses and personal information like that isn't done casually these days. I don't want a stranger having access to our information.
Who are you calling a stranger? We may only be related because you married our son, but we're family now.
Family? Are you crazy? I married Glenn, not the whole family. You guys are complete strangers to me.
Strangers.
I don't recall seeing you or anyone from your side of the family at our wedding. I married your son, not you. So why would I disclose our address? That's private information.
I don't have a son.
What are you talking about?
Someone who gets married without telling their parents or inviting them to the wedding is no longer my son. So forget about a wedding gift, forget about us helping with your move. Do as you please.
This is too funny. You're so angry that you've even stopped acknowledging you have a son. Are you saying you want to cut all ties with us? Because you're stubborn and angry? It's insane.
As unintelligent as you may be, I'm relieved you still possess some comprehension skills. We never have to meet or see each other again. Please refrain from contacting us as well.
Fine then. I don't know how we got here, but I'm actually glad. I'm thrilled that we won't have to deal with you anymore. All right, that's all. Goodbye.
Hey Mom. What is this? I deserve an explanation at least.
Sorry, who is this?
What? It's me, your son.
I don't have a son. Who is this?
Are you still on about that? I heard about your conversation with Alicia last week. She told me about cutting all ties. But let's get serious, Mom. I heard you sold your house and all the land and moved to Florida.
Oh wow, I thought we weren't family anymore. I'm surprised you even know.
One of my friends from school told me. I told him that I got married and that I would never return to my hometown again. And he was like, well, yeah, your parents sold the house, so why would you, right?
Oh, I see. That makes sense then.
What do you mean? What's going on? You sold everything without even discussing it with me?
Why would we need to discuss it with you? Someone who didn't even inform us they were getting married has no right to say that.
What?
They are redeveloping the area and they asked us to sell our land. They approached us a few years back. And it was perfect timing because Meredith got engaged.
What?
The timing was right, so we agreed to sell everything. We also wanted to give Meredith something for her wedding. She's our only child and we aren't getting any younger.
Wait a minute. This is a joke, right? Wait. Meredith got married? No one told me this.
Well, you never came home, so we didn't have a chance to tell you. Even when we told you we had something important to tell you. We asked you to come home so we could tell you in person, but you never did.
Yeah, but you could have easily messaged me or even called me. Even if you couldn't do it in person, you should have at least told me.
Well, yeah, but your dad kept saying that this wasn't something we should discuss with you by text message.
What?
So we never ended up telling you about Meredith's wedding or about selling the house.
And how much did you end up selling it for? You were able to move to Florida, so it must have been quite a lot, right? You must have gotten a significant amount of cash for it. You should have at least told me that.
Well, yeah, it was a lot more than we had imagined. We were able to give Meredith a substantial wedding gift. And we were able to pay for her new house.
You bought a house for them? Are you kidding me, Mom? You bought them a house?
Well, yeah, she's our daughter. We wanted to do something for her.
What?
When I spoke to her, even your wife said it's only natural for parents to want to give their kids something when they get married.
Well, yeah, a wedding gift. I understand that, but buying them a new house? That's too much. This is totally unfair, Mom.
What do you mean unfair? What's so unfair?
No matter how you look at it, it's totally unfair. I'm your oldest son, and you didn't give us anything. But you give my sister a big cash gift and buy her a new house. That's totally unfair.
You completely abandoned us because you were so embarrassed about your family and your hometown. Your sister, on the other hand, never abandoned us. She was never embarrassed of us. She always came to see us. So naturally, we wanted to help her out too. It wasn't intentional. It was just the way it was.
What do you mean? It wasn't intentional? It was just the way it was? That's just cold, Mom.
Unlike your wife, who never even came to say hello. And who we have never met. Meredith's husband came to see us even before they got married or engaged. He always came by to say hello whenever he had the time. Sent us gifts when he couldn't, and constantly kept in touch with us. If you think it's unfair, learn a little bit from your sister and her husband. And then talk to me after that.
You're being completely unreasonable.
Okay, great, I'm a bit busy, so I need to run. Your dad has taken up surfing, so I need to go pick him up now.
Dad's surfing?
You know your dad is from Minnesota. So he's really excited to be living near the ocean for the first time. Since we moved here, he's at the beach every single day.
I heard you spoke to Glenn. He informed me about everything. I believe what you did was completely unjust. You showed favoritism towards Meredith and her husband. That's unfair. You should also be buying us a house. We wanted to purchase a house too. We didn't want to be renting one.
Pardon me?
We won't ask for too much. Just a moderately priced condominium or something.
Alicia? I thought we agreed to maintain our distance. That's what you requested, and that's what we promised you. Besides, why would we even consider giving our money to a stranger we've never met?
Well, I can make an exception this time and come meet you.
What? Make an exception?
You're in Florida, right? We should definitely come visit you guys. Of course, you guys will cover the expenses for our trip, right?
Oh wow, you're really something. You never cease to surprise us. We have no desire to see you. Actually, we'd prefer not to meet you. So, as previously discussed, please refrain from contacting us again.
Hello! It's been a while since we last talked. How have things been going?
What do you want?
Well, I have something important to share with you. We recently welcomed a baby into our family.
Really? Is that so?
I'm sure you'd like to meet your grandchild, right? If you send us a gift, you can have the opportunity to meet her.
Excuse me?
I could use some assistance as well. We could come visit you in Florida. You can take care of both of us, the baby and me, as we stay with you.
Thank you, but no thank you.
What? You don't want to meet your grandchild? She's your son's daughter, you know?
Yeah, I don't think a grandchild will change anything. It's been 3 years since we last heard from you, so what do you expect from us?
How can you say that? I'm aware of everything. I know that you've been helping your own daughter with everything. You even bought her a house. Moreover, I heard you frequently send gifts to their child. That's completely unfair.
Well, of course, we will help them out. They also assist us. And, most importantly, they are family who keeps in touch and asks about us.
That's why I'm telling you that we'll let you see your grandchild. And I'll even let you take care of both of us when we visit. Glenn is your first child, after all. Naturally, you have a soft spot for him. Besides, you're country folk. The oldest child always holds more importance. I understand you moved to Florida, but some things never change, right? Once a country folk, always a country folk. I'm also confident that you'll come to us for help when you're too old to take care of yourselves. So, making an effort to be on our good side would benefit you in the long run, I believe.
Look who's talking about being old-fashioned now. Thinking we would seek help from you when we get older. Are you sure Glenn's country DNA hasn't influenced you?
Huh?
We may seem conservative and old-fashioned to you, but we never relied on our kids to take care of us in old age. We didn't want to burden either of our kids. So we've already made arrangements for a senior retirement community.
No kidding.
We have enough savings for ourselves as well. So, we really don't need anything from you guys. We've taken care of ourselves. So there's no need for you to worry about us.
Yeah, but a senior retirement home can be lonely and filled with elderly people. You might feel isolated and lonely there. We can live with you and take care of you. New York is much more convenient than Florida, with good doctors and everything close by.
What are you talking about? Live with you guys? You wanted nothing to do with us. What happened? There must be a reason. Otherwise, why would you even reach out to us?
Glenn lost his job, and everything is a mess here.
What?
COVID severely affected his company, and he was laid off. He thought he would find another job before the baby arrived. But it's been challenging. There aren't many suitable job opportunities available.
Yeah, wow, that's terrible. It must be really difficult.
We've been under tremendous stress lately, both financially and with the new baby. So, we would genuinely appreciate your help.
Yeah, I'd love to, but sorry. Remember, we discussed this a while back. We've already lost our son a long time ago.
Are you still holding on to that?
In our minds, we no longer have a son. You wanted it that way. So, he only has you now. I know it must be hard, having just given birth. But women are much stronger than you think, especially now that you're a mother.
Hold on a minute. Are you really going to walk away without helping your own family in need?
May I remind you that you are the one who cut ties with us?
That's unfair.
Frankly, I don't even know what you look like because we've never met before. I'll talk to you later, stranger. I'm sure you'll be a great mother to your baby and a supportive wife to Glenn. Immediately after our conversation, I received a series of messages from Alicia. She introduced herself and attached several photos of herself with captions like, "This is me. It's a pleasure to meet you. Please lend us a hand." There were numerous selfies, so I forwarded everything to Meredith. Meredith works in the digital media industry and is highly skilled at uncovering information on the internet. She managed to find Alicia's social media accounts and discovered that she was still leading a lavish lifestyle. She was dining at expensive restaurants and shopping at luxury stores. Initially, I had believed that my son had lost his job and they required our assistance. But it appeared to be not the case. We speculated that perhaps they were facing financial difficulties. But we have always instilled sound financial principles in him. So I wasn't overly concerned. We taught him the importance of saving money to navigate through challenging times. Thus, I'm confident he's managing well.